All right, I'll try to live up to my quote. All right, welcome to another installment of What the Heck is Math All About? With your second favorite teacher, Mr. Pacius. All right, here we go. All right, here we go. Let's look at this. Now we've already talked about fitting data and functions. That's what we talked about last time. So today what we're doing is we are just going to find the linear equation that matches our data. So we don't have to find exponentials for Math 1. We just have to find linear equations. And remember, the way that if you had a graph of a linear equation, you could find that linear equation by looking at the y-intercept and the slope to go along the line, the steps. So we are going to look at that. And once we get these data points plotted, we're going to be able to make our best fit line, figure out the equation, and then the parts of the equation that we already know about are going to tell us things about the data. So the slope is going to talk about the rate of change, how quickly it changes, in this case, how quickly your income changes. Maybe this is passive income from Ethereum mining, who knows. B is the y-intercept. That's our initial amount. That's how much you start with at 0 years or zero, whatever your measurement of time is. Okay. So first we have to find the linear equation from the data. So I'm going to take this data and I'm going to put it into this graph. Let's put years down here. We'll go up to 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And let's go up to 10. So that's 5, that's 10. You could just put in a couple markers to know where things are. And we better put in some more as well. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. So let's plot these. 1, 2. And my units aren't perfect. If it was graph paper, it'd be perfect, but it's not. So I have to keep that in mind that I am doing my best with this. 6, 10. 6, 10. Right here. So, okay. Can everybody see that that's approximately aligned? All of these problems are going to be aligned. They're all going to be linear because those are the tools we have so far as finding the equation. Okay. So look, now that I've plotted it, I'm pretty stoked. I'm happy about that. And I'm going to go ahead and make a line that goes through this as well as I can make it. Okay. It's not going to be perfect. But do you see that that's a pretty good best fit line? I mean, that's a pretty good best fit line, right? Okay. So, and I'm going to even say, because of these units are kind of messed up, I'm going to even say that it goes through the origin. It goes through the origin. So if you didn't make that perfectly go through the origin, don't worry about it. It'll make sense. It makes more sense if it actually goes through the origin. All right, now watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to find the equation for this line using this. Okay. First off, I know what B is. What is B? Somebody tell me in the chat. Approximately what's B? What's B? It makes sense. Yeah, man. Yeah, Haley. No, B is not 1, 2. B is the y-intercept. So where is the line crossing the y-axis? 0. Okay. So we're gonna put in a slope x plus 0. We'll clean that up later. But I know my y-intercept is 0, and that's going to make sense. Later we'll be asked a question to interpret what the y-intercept and what the slope is talking about. But right now, just keep in mind, yeah, our graph went right through 0. If it were to go through, approximately 2, I'd put 2 here. But it goes all the way down here. The y-intercept is 0, so I'm going to keep that in mind. Now, next what we have to do is we have to pick 2 points on the graph. And this is where using graph paper is actually ideal. But I'm actually going to use these 2 points. I'm going to use 0, 0. And I'm going to use 1, 2. It was one of our points in the data as well. But it looks like it is also one of the points on the line approximately. Remember that the slope is just the rise over the run. how far up and down, and how far side to side you go. Okay. So, we could use the slope formula, y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1. Maybe write that down if you really like to plug in points. But I don't even think that this slope formula is necessary for this, because you can count the slope if you graph it as well as you can. So let's look. How far up do I need to go to get even with this point? Let's just count the slope from the graph. How far up do I need to go? I need to go up 2. I need to go up positive 2. Okay. How far to the left do I need to go? I need to go to the left 1. Okay. So remember, all we're doing is we're looking to see what the rise over the run was. If I pick these 2 points, 0, 0, and 1, 2, because they're pretty much on my red line, my best fit line, then I needed to go up 2 over 1. So my rise over run is up 2 over 1. Okay. If you would have done this, labeling x1, y1, x2, y2, you would end up with, your slope down here. You could find it. Get it. You could find it by plugging in y2 minus y1, right? x2 minus x1. And you would get the slope is 2 over 1, 2. Okay. So don't worry too much about doing this. Honestly, if you use graph paper and you graph it pretty, as well as you can, you'll be able to pick out points that are on the line. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and finish this up. I'm going to put 2 right there. I'm going to clean it up. Y equals 2x. That's my linear equation. All right. Let's look to see what we did. We plugged in the points. We made a line that went approximately best fit through the points. We found the y-intercept was 0. We then picked 2 points on the line, and found the rise over run to go between those 2 points. That is 2 over 1. We plug it in for n. And we clean it up, so we have our final equation. Question? Yeah, what's up, Sienna?
I don't understand how you came up with all the numbers for the m, like the 2 minus 0 over 1 minus 0.
Okay, so remember that we can find the slope using this more complicated manner. And the way that I found these values, y sub 2, y sub 1, remember that given any 2 points, we could find the slope between the 2 points if we label each component of the point x1, y1, as in this is point number 1, and x2, y2, as if this is point number 2. We then find the rise over the run by plugging it into this formula. The rise is the change in y, the x is the change in x, rise over the run. Does that remind you? We did this before.
Yeah.
Got it now?
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. All right, now the final question that you're going to have, and let me know if there's any other questions coming up. That was a great reminder. So thanks, Sienna, for bringing that up. I think a lot of us maybe need a little bit of a reminder on that. So what I'll ask next is, and this is like the last question that you'll have for each of these type of problems, is interpret. Okay? Interpret the y-intercept. Interpret the slope. That's what we have to do. Okay, that's the last thing. So in the context of the years that you work selling or, data mining, not data mining, Ethereum, crypto mining, first year you made $2,000, third year you're making $5,000, sixth year you made $10,000. Now, why is it that the y-intercept is equal to 0? Why does that make sense? Why does that make sense that at year 0, right? Time, this is time, 3 years, 2 years, 1 year. At year 0, you made no money. At year 0. Are you going to make money before you start to do something? If you go in on your first day of work and you're opening the door to go into the business, as you grab the door, have you made any money yet? No, you got to work. You got to have time. So at year 0, you haven't even done it. Yeah, Jordan, what do you think?
I think he probably made a cent for opening the door.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
But
maybe
then the
like
taxes,
a few cents.
But then the taxes, so they cut your penny in half and they take it.
Well, maybe, well, yeah, a few cents. So like maybe a penny or two. So he still has like a cent left over.
Yeah. And that's where maybe that, our graph went really close. And a good question just came up. How did I find the y-intercept? I graphed the line and literally I looked to see where the line crosses my y-axis. Literally. That's it. These aren't perfect lines. We're not going to be able to find the perfect line using just by hand. Computers could find the perfect best fit line, but when we're graphing this, do your best to graph it. If I saw that it crossed at approximately 1.5, then I'd put 1.5 instead of 0. But we went approximately through 0. So I'm going to say this. If I'm interpreting the y-intercept is 0, let's see. At the very start, right? You've made $0. You haven't done it. You haven't started. Okay, so it's a vernacular just explanation, but that's what I want you guys to practice. I don't want this to be overly formal. Like, why does this make sense? Interpret it yourself in your own words. Okay, there's not a perfect way to say this. I want you to understand it, and you could understand it the most if you're using your own words in your own head. Okay. Now, what is the slope? What is the slope? The slope is how quickly your income is increasing. It's the rate of change of your income. So, yeah. Good. Okay. No, there isn't an exact answer. Now, Haley brought up a good idea here. Based on how you spaced your tick marks here, they ended up with a y-intercept of 1. And that's fine. I think I will suggest that for the homework, you use graph paper. If we all use graph paper, then our tick marks would be uniformed, and we would get the same approximate y-intercept. But I wanted to show that this y-intercept made more sense to go through 0. Now, if it went through 1, you might say, well, I made $1,000 at year 0 because I joined a, crypto mining club that had an incentive. Like there could be things that could happen where you got paid $1,000 at year 0. Yeah, I can scoot it down like that. Yep. All right, and then the slope. The slope is saying that for every year we go up $2,000. So the slope is saying we increase income approximately, right? It's not perfect. Approximately $2,000 each year. Yeah. Approximately $2,000 every year. That would be one of our answers in the homework. Actually, it took longer than I thought. It took 14 minutes. Sorry. That's still the shortest. All right, guys, give me a thumbs up, sideways, down. If there's parts that are sideways, try to express it and let me know. Okay. We got 3 thumbs up, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Oh, there's one like party icon thing. Celebration icon. There's one crying. Now this person's going crazy. I don't know what all those icons mean, but I'm guessing they're all good. They're mostly good. I'm going to take that they're mostly good. Guys, this homework's going to be easy. We will look over it on Monday. It's not due to next Tuesday. But I want to let you out early so that, well, I'll stop the video. Thanks for watching, guys.